Well, hello, everybody, and welcome to the Real Joy Project. I am here with Shelby today, my co host, and we are excited just to visit with you. We have a few things that we've been talking about in our lives, and we thought, I bet there's some other people out there that are kind of going through the same thing. And so that's what we're going to talk about today. So, hello, Miss Shelby.
Hey, how's it going?
Good. And how are you today?
I am great. We just got back from a weekend away. We were celebrating my sister-in-law. Shout out to her. She just graduated with her master's degree. So she's got lots of big things coming her way, and we're very proud of her. But I am just glad to be home and back to normal routine for a little bit. So.
That's awesome. And I'm on the other end of that and getting ready to go on a vacation. So my routine has been like in go mode for the last 2 weeks of like trying to prep and get everything done in advance. But there's always that like vacations are awesome, but then you need your vacation from your vacation to reset when you get back home, right?
Yes, yes. I feel
Yes.
like that's where we're at today. I'm like, okay, placing that grocery order. We're getting back on schedule for nap routine and all of those things. But it felt good to be away and celebrating and spending time with loved ones. But I'm just glad to be home too.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's always an awesome thing. I agree with you. So let's start talking about, let's just jump in today. Let's just jump into what we're going to talk about a little bit today. Do you kind of want to kick us off on some of our thoughts around what brought us here?
Yeah, so Jenny had mentioned she's going on vacation and last week. So Jenny and I communicate a lot through text messages, but we do a lot of like audio messages. I need to get back onto Marco Polo with you. But Jenny sent me an audio message last week, and she was just, she's talking about all of the things going on in her business, the stuff that she's building for that and creating, and where she wants to take that and how it just kind of felt, and you can correct me if I'm wrong on this, but how it just felt like I have to do everything right now in order to be ready for this vacation. And I could really relate to that with my daughter starting preschool the end of this month. And I have a to-do list that I feel like I just have to kind of cram everything in. Like I have to do it now. I have to do it perfectly. It has to be wrapped up, put like slap a shiny bow on it, and like everything's got to be perfect and done really well. But Jenny and I, over the last few days, have just kind of been visiting back and forth about, that overwhelm. Are we doing too much? Are we doing not enough? And I'm sure there's a lot of listeners out there that can relate to that. So if you want to start, Jenny, and just kind of share what do you have going on in your life right now, and what's kind of the overwhelming stuff? What are the exciting things? What are maybe some things that you're like, it's okay to just, they can be on the side, they can wait a little bit, or I don't have to do those right now.
Yeah, the day I reached out to you too, I think I was just feeling overwhelmed. And like you said, it's like I got to do all the things and I got to do them right. And I got to do them right now. And I don't, I was putting that on myself. And I think I even told you that. Like, how often do we do that? That we put these things on ourselves. But like you talking about your daughter getting ready for school. My youngest is getting ready to start her senior year. So I think last week she had just gotten home. She'd been gone all summer between traveling and she's a camp counselor. And I was like, do I have all her things lined up for her? Like, are we ready to start her senior year? And we got to do some senior pictures and we getting her dance going. So we had that going. My business, I run my own business and I do marketing and visibility for other small businesses. And it's just me. So I'm like, okay, I have to have everything pre-scheduled out. So while I'm gone, I'm not working. I really want to be intentional about being on vacation with my husband and not working. So making sure all of that is done in advance and doing the best job that I can do. There is and then just daily life things, making sure everything is on top of it. And then we're really excited. So a little bit about our vacation is my husband built his dream monster truck. From the time he was a little kid, he wanted to build a monster truck. And you guys, I realized last week, I messaged him in the middle of a work day and I said, you did it. You did something you wanted to do as a child and like made it happen at 48 years old. How many people could say that? Like your childhood
Yeah.
dream. And now it's something that he's built. It's not fancy. It's not the new ones that are flipping in multiple circles. It's, in the air. It's an old school monster truck. And it has been so fun to watch him do that. And we're getting ready to take it on a trip to Nebraska where he's going to get to crush a couple cars and just park it and show it to little kids. And that's like the best part. He's so excited for like the kids to be excited. So as we're getting closer, we decided we're going to make t-shirts and we're going to make stickers for the kids and we're going to do this. And then we started posting some stuff on his social media, which blew up. So I'm like, well, now I got to do all that. So yeah, I was just like, whoa, there's a lot of things going on right now. And then it just felt good to be able to word vomit all of that to Shelby because I think sometimes we have to talk through all of it to acknowledge I do feel overwhelmed. That's why it just took me 20 minutes to tell Shelby all the things that I have going on. And I was in the car driving, so I could really just let all of that out. But it was like it gave me the acknowledgement and validation, like, yeah, you are busy. You do have a lot going on. But like, let's be real here. Like, what can reasonably get done in this amount of time? And I also told you that I seen myself falling back into old habits of
Mhm.
like oh, I'm working in the evening on my phone and trying to sneak in work while we're watching TV and staying up late. I was laying in bed on my phone working at night. And I'm like, okay, I know as a solo entrepreneur that at times, if I want to go on vacation, I do have to work a little harder before my vacation. But I do not have to be working on my phone at 11 o'clock at night. Like, I need to be realistic about that. And I had a little bit of fear creep in that I let that happen before, did not acknowledge it. Instead of acknowledging it as something not healthy for me, I looked at it as a badge of honor. Like, look at me working all these hours. Look how great I am, And then that was not good for me mentally, physically, my family, nothing. So after just like talking that through and getting that out with a friend, like when I talking to Shelby, it helped me see that I was not setting those boundaries that I'd put into place as I've grown over the years. And it helped me kind of come back to that and be like, okay, you may have to put a few extra hours in as you're preparing for vacation. It's like making sure your work is done. That's an adult responsibility. But I do not have to be doing it at 11 o'clock laying in my bed. And if I keep doing that, it was actually hindering the efficiency of my work because I was not clear and thinking straight and it was taking me longer to do simple tasks. So thank you, Shelby, for listening to me and giving me some feedback on what you've seen that I was doing at the time to kind of self-sabotage myself.
Yeah, I'm always here to vent it out. And I know from my own experience, sometimes just getting it off your chest is like part of the process too. If you can just tell somebody else, like, I'm feeling overwhelmed because I have what feels like 8,000 things on my plate right now, I feel like that almost takes it down a notch a little bit. Like, it helps alleviate some of the overwhelm. One thing that I also do too is I just, how you said you like word vomited all of that to me. I almost have to just word vomit everything onto a sheet of paper or in my notes section on my phone. I feel like that helps just to like actually see it too, because when it's in your head, it feels like you truly do have 8,000 things. But when you write it on a sheet of paper, maybe it really boils down to like 20 things. And that can still feel overwhelming, but now you can see it, you can physically check things off. And then it feels like you're actually making progress towards something too, not just like spinning your wheels in your head, like, I'm overwhelmed and now I've got this to do and I'm still feeling overwhelmed, and just feels very chaotic without kind of like that structure and plan. And I know that's something that I've seen in you over the years, right? Like working with you is that I know we've always joked like it's the Jenny 110% mentality, but it really was coming down to like the all or nothing. I have to do all of this stuff today or I didn't make progress forward in my business, or I have to do all of this stuff right now at 8:30 at night when I could be spending time, valuable time with my husband instead. And so it's cool to see the changes that you've made over the years. But what do you feel? I know with like your previous experience that you brought up with your previous job, you're trying not to go back there. So what are some things that you're letting go of in this season? And what does like enough look like for you right now in this season of your life?
So the first question you gave me was like, what am I letting go of? Right? Like of
Yeah,
those
I
old
know.
habits. Yes.
Yeah, yep.
So, so for me, a big part of that is my my phrase for this year has been contain the fire, and my word of the year is settled. And that has all came in. Contain the fire for me is like I get really excited about things and then I want to do all the things and pretty soon the fire is out of control. Like a nice little campfire is wonderful that just continues to burn and maybe grows a little bit, but we don't want it to spread. And like up here in North Dakota right now, there's been a lot of fires and it's extremely crispy and dry. We don't want those fires to spread. And so having that little vision in my head has helped me a lot this year when I have a lot of great ideas coming to mind, or I want to do this and I want to do that, and I want to do it all right now. Is like, okay, does that all fit in your fire, or is your fire now spreading too far? That has really helped me with that word of steady. Like, let's say steady. When you were talking about list, one of the things that I began to do is I have a not yet folder on my phone, and I will put things in there like, this is a idea I really want to do, but not yet. Like, can I manage that in this season and still contain my hours so that I still have time for my own health and my own me time and my family time and friend time and reasonably fit that in? If yes, I really think I can, then how am I going to layer it into my space? And if not, then I either have to let something else go or it's in the not yet section. And I'm really learning just to enjoy the journey of the growth. Like I think that's been one of the biggest things is like not I don't right away I want something, I want to plan, I want it done instead of like enjoying the whole journey, which is a small part of life in general, right? We're supposed to enjoy the journey of like getting to 80 years old, instead we're always wishing for the next moment. But I've even noticed that in my work, but and even in like my health. It's like I enjoying the journey of Shelby has really helped me as a fitness coach and wellness coach. She's really helped me to learn that it's not about having these extremes. It is literally about finding what you enjoy, whether it's what you eat, what you are movement, and doing that. And like recently, as I've been so busy and I've added some physical therapy movements to my workouts, instead of doing 3 sets of everything plus adding stuff, I like reduced some of them to 2 sets and then added my physical therapy. And I feel amazing and not overwhelmed. Like, oh my gosh, how am I going to do this workout plus my physical therapy? I've blended them together. And so that's just another way of like, it's not about getting to that end point. It is about the steps along the way while still having balance and enjoying all the aspects of my life and not just one's at 110% and the others are at -5. Does that make sense?
Yes. Yeah.
Yes. Um, there was some I made a note this morning because this will fit here. So one of the things that I've talked about lately with some friends is um like strength training and exercising, and my I've been talking to my physical therapist. I said the goal is no longer to be strong. Like I feel very strong right now and I'm not going to claim to be the strongest I've ever been, I'm not going to claim that, but I feel strong, I feel good. But my goal right now is that I'm 48. So when I'm 58, 68, 70, 88, I want to be able to move. I want to be able to reach to the top cabinet. I want to be able to squat down and pick something up. I want to be able to be running around with my grandkids someday. That's the new goal. It's no longer about like how I look in the moment or comparing myself to somebody else or comparing myself to a 30-year-old, and what they can do
Yep.
and comparing myself to somebody on social media. It's like, what does my body need so that I am healthy as I'm getting older? And the same thing with my brain. And that's where all those boundaries start to come into place.
Yeah, I think those boundaries have been huge for you. Just setting those and sticking to them, and also giving yourself grace too. Of okay, like it's okay to let some of that stuff go. It's okay to schedule that in for a month from now, or you just even throwing it on the do later list and not having a scheduled date of when you're going to start it, because it may fit sooner than you think, or it may be a long time before you get to that one. And just taking it off of that like immediate list of things for you is helping with that overwhelm.
Yes. And
Yeah.
and the other thing I'm noticing is if you put it on the not yet list, like you're like, that doesn't fit in this week. And the thing is, it might not become that important and you might decide never to do it. Sometimes in
Hmm.
the moment, everything seems super exciting and glitter and woohoo. And then you put it on the not yet list. And then you get to that and you're like, wait, that really doesn't fit. I really don't want to do that. And now you didn't
Yep.
waste any time besides writing it in the not yet list for a second.
Yep.
So I want to ask you because your daughter is going to be starting preschool pretty soon. And so tell us a little bit about that. The other day you mentioned that and you're like, when she starts school. And I kind of brought up to you to be careful about also not pre-planning that you're going to get all these amazing things done in the couple hours she's in school. So tell us like how often is she going to be there and how do you see that shifting your life? Because that's going to be a big shift for you guys.
Yeah, so she starts preschool the end of this month. She'll go like the last Thursday of this month. So they do have availability for them to go all week, but we picked the Tuesday, Thursdays. So she'll only go 2 days a week, and it's from 9 a.m. until 2 p.m. So 10 hours a week feels like a really long time on my mama heart. Sure, there will be tears shed and it'll be mom crying, not her, when we drop her off, because she is Miss Independent, Miss Thing, like, see you later, mom, I got this. So I'll keep everybody posted on how the drop off day goes. But um yeah, so with her going to preschool, we like threw this idea around a lot. Like, do we send her? So for those of you that don't know much about me, I am a full-time stay-at-home mom, but I run a online mom community. So I'm on social media. I help moms that feel overwhelmed just with your basic habits and routines, and finding ways that work well for you to kind of implement those realistically into your life. So, um, I'm running that on the side of full-time taking care of our daughter. And so with her starting preschool, I would like to dive more into my work from home life. So I'm hoping in those like 10 hours a week that I can start, designing some things that I'm like you, Jenny. I have so many ideas in my mind, and they've made it onto either a notebook or into my phone. And so my plan is to be able to take time to actually build those out and get those out into the world, and work on my blog more, and just be more consistent and find ways to help other moms who are experiencing similar things as me. I'm like really excited to have some extra time to build my business, maybe take some time for myself while she's at school. Um, I also, I want to do things around the house to be a little more helpful when it comes to like meal planning or go to the grocery store. I've all of these things that I want to do. And Jenny gave me a little reminder last week about kind of keeping that in check and being realistic. So, um, you mentioned to me that, hey, you're going to have all of these ideas and it might not look the way that you were hoping it was going to look, or, you might feel like you have all of this extra time, but when it comes down to it, you don't have all of this extra time. So, we will see how it goes, but I am just, trying to use my own advice that I would offer to another mom in this situation. Listen to what Jenny had said to me too about, use your time well. Give yourself grace, like allow yourself that time to kind of adjust to this new season and new period, because I could already feel myself like trying to work on a couple of things in advance, and um that probably would have ended up a train wreck, because I don't want to do the 110% mentality when it comes to that. So
Well,
just keeping myself in check here as preschool approaches.
yeah, and I would say what kind of made me think of that was my husband is the one that called me out many years ago when my kids were little, is the season between school and summer is it shifts really quickly, and you can almost forget that. And then you think they're going back to school, I'm gonna have all this time, and that time goes fast, and we want to pack every minute into it. Like, she's not here, so I'm gonna pack all this stuff in, including I'm gonna pick up the house, I'm gonna do this. I mean, and you feel like you have to because they're in preschool. But so many years later, my last one's going to school this year, and it's still a shift when school starts. The routine shifts a little bit, but I will say that if I could go back, one thing I would have done was, yeah, definitely not piled my list so high, and gave a little bit of time back to myself to take care of myself. So, Shelby, what does being like your best self mean to you? Like, what does that mean to you in not as being a mom, but as in being Shelby?
The one thing that I have been working on this year, because I chose a word as well, and my word was self. So being my best self means taking care of myself like I expect myself to take care of my daughter, of my husband. So being my best self is, finding those things that are for me and actually like doing the things for myself and not feeling guilty about it, like letting go of that guilt, because I deserve to take care of myself too. And that means things like, moving my body daily in ways that I enjoy. I love going for walks with our dog and getting Lakin out and just having conversations with her of the things that, we see along the walk, and um, fueling my body. So making sure, I feel my best, not only so I can take care of my daughter, but so it's 35 years old. I don't want to feel, like I'm like how everybody jokes right now, like, oh, you're getting so old now, like your knees should hurt and you should have a hard time and you should be tired. Like, I don't want to feel that way. I genuinely want to feel my best. And it means doing those things for myself. Um, the overwhelm was a big thing for me when I first became a mom. And so lately, just taking that moment to not only recognize when I'm feeling overwhelmed, but admitting when I need to rest and being okay with that rest too. So I've been doing lots of things in the evening that are just for me, like coloring in my coloring book, or, binge watching some show that it's like I don't get control over the TV much anymore. So just really my best self is taking care of me first and truly being okay with that and not letting the feeling of guilt um keep me from doing so.
I love that for you, and I love that you have discovered that already. Like you know that you have already discovered that it's going to help you as a mom just be more in the moment. As you said, like you go for a walk and you visit with her and talk about what you're seeing versus your like brain's going into a million different direction. Like by taking care of yourself, you're allowing that time to be something you enjoy, not that you have to do, you know.
Yep.
So let me ask you, like you said, when you first became a mom, and I even know nowadays at times that overwhelm, do you feel like some of that comes from social media and the fact that you and I both have businesses that revolve around social media, but like that social media just gives us that feeling of like we have to optimize every part of our life from our health and have me time and take care of ourselves and make sure you're doing all the right workout moves and that you are a business, you know, you have a business and you're a mom and you're a wife and I don't even know how far we it can go with all of that. But having all the things, like, do you feel that that has impacted you, that social media impacts that and at times makes you feel like I'm not doing enough?
Absolutely, 100%. There are other factors I think that play into that, but I think there's a strong connection with social media and what we're seeing on there and the pressure to do it all, be it all and have the best looking house and the most expensive things and just all of the things. I know when I was pregnant with our daughter, I spent a lot of time on social media. I actually had to delete one platform at the time because it was like do this or you're not a good mom, or your pregnancy is a disaster if you're not doing these things. And that's not what the accounts or the influencers are actually saying, but that's what I was kind of taking away from it. And everyone means well when they're on there, but some of it is just it can really get inside of your head. I will say
I,
one thing that I think is cool with social media, sorry, is there seems to be more of a push for real life, like real authentic life on social media now. So I'm glad it's kind of trending in that direction. But absolutely, I mean, even before social media was a really big thing, you've talked about the Pinterest mom life and having that picture perfect home and your kids had all the cute crafts and this and that and if you didn't have this, then you weren't doing it right. And I could go on and on about the impact of social media on our mental health right now
yeah.
and the unrealistic expectations across the board.
I agree with that. And you said something though, like you said that you don't like they're not intentionally everybody means well, but I challenge that a little bit because there are some people out there that don't mean well. Like they are very blunt about like oh, I tend to get like strength training ones that pop up, you know, like, and the other day I seen one that said there were two women working out, and one was like lifting lighter weights and like faster, like doing a lot of reps, and the other one was doing really slow, heavy. And it said, this one is getting stronger, and this one is wasting her time. And I was like, either one of them is wasting their time. Now, that is an intentional rude comment because both of them are moving their bodies, you know. And luckily, in the comments, most people were saying that. Everybody was like, no one's wasting their time here. And so, unfortunately, there are people that are out there to drag people down. And so what one thing that I'm learning with social media, you can change your algorithm. So if you are on social media and you are seeing a lot of negative feed towards whatever subject it is that you're looking at, stop, like try not to stop and pause on it, because as a social media tip, if you pause on a post or you read it or you open it up or you watch it 3 times, instantly social media is like, oh, she likes this, I'm going to show her more of that. So
Yes.
intentionally go to the search bar and look for positive things. I will do that once in a while, and I'll just look for positive quotes, even put that out there, and then hang out in those for a while. Look at them, watch a video a couple times. It will change
Yeah.
your algorithm. And look for the things that are self improvement on whatever subject it is that you want to grow in or live in or be happy, whether maybe it's gardening. Go look for that and sit in those, um, because social media can really get to us. It can really get to you when you think, man, I'm doing awesome. I'm cruising along. And then one person on social media says that's the wrong way to do it. Now you're questioning all your life choices.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we can't do that. We can't because first of all, most of the people out there they're not professionals in what they're talking about anyway. We don't have any idea for real if they're doctors or not, or, any of that. So,
Yeah.
well, I want to ask you, you asked me this earlier, and I don't think I quite got to it, but I think this has been a great conversation that we can always lean into. But so what does enough look like right now for you, Shelby? Like, all we talked about being overwhelmed, we talked about like finding our what we need to do, but so what does enough look like to you right now?
Well, that one before we even hopped on here, I was like really trying to think on that. I really think just being present with my daughter and my husband and being intentional with where I'm spending my time and how I'm spending my time because our daughter just turned 2 not that long ago, and I feel like that flew by so fast. And so all of the extra stuff, I try to like look ahead and ask myself, in 10 years, what is actually going to matter? Um, I actually had heard somebody, I don't even know the source or when I heard this, talk about when you pass away, if people were to get up and talk about you, what would you want them to say about
Mhm.
you? And, you know, people to get up and say, well, she had a really clean house. Or she made these really cool things for her kids when they were growing up. Like, um, I don't even want them to get on there and be like, well, she had six-pack abs and always looked really great in her clothes. So enough for me is the things that, doing the things that really matter and being present. So being present with our daughter, spending time with loved ones and, not being on my phone during those times. And um, I think just being present, honestly, and, spending quality time is what would be enough for me and letting go of the things that someday they just aren't gonna matter someday.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. Yeah, I agree with that. For me, it is just being content. I was talking about this with a friend the other day about how the word content could be thought of as a bad word, and how it's not. Like, after you go through things in life, or if you've had loss or go through some hard times, you learn that being content is a magical word. Like, I'm really content right now. It's fabulous. Like, I don't need everything to be crazy and wild, and it's just great to be in, like, things are just, yeah, they're just steady. They're just content. They're just good. And just feeling like everybody is healthy and safe. Like, if we can learn to let go of some of that overwhelm, our nervous systems do feel safer, and so we can relax a little bit, and then obviously, our bodies are going to be healthier if we're not stressing them out all the time. Yeah. So I think for me that it's just that's what enough for me right now is just being content, just that breath, just that, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
I like that, just even being able to, take that deep breath and kind of just let some of it go. Because when we are overwhelmed or feeling like we have to do it all, it's like tension just continues to build. And that chaos and just everything feels like, yeah,
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 exactly. It's
yeah,
like too
yeah,
much. Yes.
yeah. So,
Ah.
Jenny, if you could talk to the Jenny from, 10 years ago or, at a certain point in previously, what would you say to that version of yourself?
Um, I think I would say you're going to get through this because 10 years ago was a lot. Like we were in, I had grade school kids. I was running a different business at the time that was like full speed ahead. Um, it was a lot. It was even kind of probably a tougher time in my marriage because we were both working a lot of hours and crazy busy. But I think I would say you're going to get through this. If I could give her some advice in the middle of that, it would be to take a deep breath and to step back and look at like, what can you let go? Who are you? I think at that time I was still in a lot of proving to myself. I thought I was proving the other people, like I have to prove that I can handle all this. I can do all of this. And in the end, was I don't know who I was trying to prove it to, if I was trying to prove it to myself, because nobody else cares. No one else is sitting on their couch at night thinking, oh, Jenny sure does a lot. And so, yeah, I think my advice would be to her step back. What can you let go of? What can you release? And who are you doing all of this for in the end? How about
Yeah.
you? How would you answer that question to yourself 10 years ago?
Man, 10 years ago, okay. Um, wow. I'm like, okay, I was 25. I was trying to think like what I was doing at that point in life. I think I would tell myself to, it's okay to not be so hard on yourself and have unrealistic expectations. Like, so it's okay to not do everything perfect. It's okay to not try and impress others. I feel like at that time in my life too, I felt like I had a lot to prove. Um, about that time, I had been working in a management level job, and I got let go, and like I didn't really stick up for myself. And I feel like, again, I'm not blaming it on them or anything like that, but I feel like I was not helped. And so I would tell myself to, ask for help, but also stick up for myself too. So that was a really difficult time in my life. It was a real blow to my confidence, I think, especially in like the professional world. So I would tell myself, not everything has to be perfect. So it's okay to ask for help. And that doesn't mean that you don't know what you're doing or that you're not being successful when you ask for help. But also to stick up and advocate for yourself. And that is definitely one thing that I do now is, I show up for myself and I stick up for myself. I've yet to really share a lot of some of like the health things that are going on in my life right now, but we've talked even like on our hormone series about advocating for yourself and showing up for yourself. And if I could show my 25-year-old self, like, hey, we stick up for ourselves and advocate for ourselves, that I feel like she'd be very proud of me. So,
I love that so much. I love that. I'm really
yeah.
proud of you for that too. I've been watching you advocate for yourself and it's awesome. It's like you're just
Yeah.
blooming. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
you kind of feel like a little badass. You're like, why have you not been doing this the whole time? Like you deserve the best just like everyone else does. And so if I could even leave any listeners with a piece of advice is, advocate for yourself and stick up for yourself. And
Yeah.
I think that's the biggest thing that I would leave for 25-year-old Shelby.
I love
Yeah.
that. I love
Yeah.
that. It'd be really interesting to see in 10 years from now what we're going to look back and even from there. So it's great. I love that we're having these conversations and like being open with each other and sometimes it's kind of hard to have these on these coffee chats, like some of the things we're talking about and admit them out loud. But our goal, like Shelby and I just want those of you listening that if somebody else is feeling the same way we are, like maybe some of what we're going through you can relate to. Maybe we can just help somebody feel not so alone. And if you guys ever have like suggestions and thoughts for us, like share them. Be nice.
Yeah.
Be nice. As we were just talking about social media, but for real, just like but share them with us. We it's really why we're here is just because we just feel that there's that need. There's just a need for real joy. It's not just about real joy, it's just about real life and real conversations and real overwhelm at times, and just reality.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, it is. That's part of life, right? There has to be some of the overwhelm for us to enjoy things. And you had said it at the very beginning, there are times where it's okay to be really busy and have a lot of things going on, growing our businesses and taking on new adventures as a family. And, those are the busy things that are okay. It's when we let other things really kind of cloud that and um, get in the way, and then it really doesn't feel good.
Yeah,
The busy is not good. So.
exactly. We let it overtake us.
Yeah.
Well, I think that kind of wraps up today. I think anything else that you want to say?
No, I think this was an excellent conversation. I loved where it went. Hopefully, when we're 10 years from now, we can look back on this and be like, we were doing a good job. I don't really have a ton of advice for you. Um, so we'll
Yes.
see what comes, but enjoy your vacation. You
Thank
will
you.
be out and about having fun, and I can't wait to hear all about it.
I can't wait either. It's something new. So we're just rolling with it and it's going to be awesome. So you enjoy your week at home getting settled back in.
Yeah,
And for
yeah.
all our listeners, thank you. Thank you so much. If you made it this far, thank you for listening. We love having you here. We would love if you subscribe to our channel so that you don't miss out on future conversations and give us a little thumbs up if you enjoyed the conversation or leave a comment. We really appreciate you being here. So everybody have a great rest of your day and we will be back soon.
Bye, Jenny.
Bye bye.